All right. Time to get rolling, man.
Yeah. We are.
Lots of topics to talk about tonight.
We do. We have definitely a couple of those topics to talk about. Namely, well, first of all, welcome in, folks, to our usual viewers, our usual suspects, and to new suspects and viewers. I don't know why I called y'all suspects. It's been a long day. I mean, you're suspect of something, I'm sure.
That's what happens when you live with a cop.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, welcome in. It is episode. It's not episode 69, is it?
Yes, it is.
It is episode 69. Yeah.
Wow. And we wait for Rob to come back. So we do have several topics to talk about tonight. First off is we're gonna dive into what is going on with Valve. Some exciting stuff there. Some of you guys have probably heard about the issues there and some of the court rulings that just came up. Also going to talk about the Ghost of Yotei, Dune, Assassin's Creed, and I believe what's going on with League of Legends. And Rob is back. Welcome back.
Yes, I'm back. Yeah.
You left me trying to like hold the bags here, and
you got two hands, man. You all right? But yeah, episode 69. I did forget we had some weather the other last week. So for those of you, number one, yes, for those of you who experienced Hurricane Helene, I think that was the name of it. Helene.
Yep.
Hopefully you guys are okay. I know North Carolina got hit pretty hard, so and I know some folks in North Carolina. So please be safe, take care of yourselves. You know,
I'm good, Rob.
Best you can. I know you're good. You're all the way up in Wisconsin, man. I don't even think you got past Tennessee. But yeah, in all seriousness, for anyone who experienced the hurricane, hopefully you guys are all right. And if not, hopefully you will be soon. But that said, this is episode 69 of the Update Log, and as Greg was saying, we got Assassin's Creed, Ghost of Yotei, which is, unless I'm misremembering, believe it is a successor of Ghost of Tsushima. Either a successor or a spiritual successor. I'm pretty sure it's a successor, but we'll get into that more as we get to that topic. And yes, League of Legends.
You heard him, folks. We're getting spiritual today.
Yeah, maybe. And Dune Awakening. For those of you who don't know, yes, there is a Dune MMO on the horizon.
See now, a Dune MMO, that is a spiritual piece for me. That's absolutely.
Here's the thing. I've been watching some videos on Dune Awakening. It is being created and published by Funcom, and that's where kind of iffy. Because Funcom, in my experience, they've had some wins and they've had some serious L's. One of their most notable wins lately, the last few years, has been Conan Exiles, which is their MMO survival deal. And then it's done pretty well. I've played it. Don't play it much anymore, but I've played it in the past for quite a bit, and it's pretty good, pretty solid. If you're into the survival, crafting, gathering, kind of deal, it's definitely one of the better ones. There have been a number of them that have come out. We've talked about some of them. Enshrouded being one of them, V Rising being another. Two games that I have and have played, both great games in the genre, especially Enshrouded, really good game. V Rising as well. But Dune Awakening is set to hit the first quarter of 2025. So about the next 6 months. I've watched a couple of videos on it, a couple Let's Plays. I've signed up for the beta. I haven't been invited yet. We'll see. But it looks pretty good. There's some things that they need to polish. Namely, as far as I can see so far, it is animations are a little stiff, a little janky, especially the melee animations. But they've actually responded to that piece, stating that gunplay is not something that they have really had much experience with, so they've wanted to put a lot of their focus there initially to really fine tune that. And to be fair, they've done a fairly good job. A lot of the gunplay that I've seen in the Dune Awakening Let's Plays, pretty solid, pretty neat. So for those of you who are Dune fans, you'd be happy to know that there are going to be 4 starting classes: the Trooper, the Mentat. For those who want to play as the Nun, yes, the Bene Gesserit acolytes are going to be on there, and a Swordmaster. So for those of you who want to get your Duncan Idaho on, you can do that. So those are going to be the 4 starting classes.
I'm gonna have to create a Bene Gesserit.
You would create a Bene Gesserit. Well, I could see you being a Bene Gesserit or a Mentat.
Is there what? A Mentat?
Yeah.
That's
scheming. Scheming, just wheeling and dealing and scheming.
Welcome in, Unholy Pawn. Don't believe a thing this guy says.
Welcome in, Unholy Pawn, man. I mean, you've dealt with Greg before, Unholy Pawn. Like, what do you think? You think he'd be a good Bene Gesserit, right? Or Mentat? He's wheeling and dealing and scheming over there. Look at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, freaking words. So those would be the 4 opening classes that will be put out with the Dune MMO that's coming out, Dune Awakening. It will be taking place on Arrakis, so yeah, you'll be taking place in the desert. Another Pawn says yes and yes. Well, yeah, see, at least he understands. It'll be taking place in the desert, and there'll be a couple of different biomes and things like that they're looking to introduce. Even though, yes, Arrakis is mostly desert, but they're looking to get as many biomes into that space as makes sense. Cave networks, different bases. Even going so far as to go all out into the deep desert, like we saw. If you guys have watched Dune 2, highly recommend the movie. It's really good. Go watch it. So that's that is something to look forward to if you are a Dune / sci-fi fan.
I'm looking forward to it. Actually, I really looking forward to trying. I mean, the movies, all of them, honestly, are good. I know there's some argument over some of them, but I like all the movies. And the RPG is awesome, the tabletop. I
We have
am.
to play that at some point.
That's what I was just gonna say. I mean, we are. I'm gonna get a game going with that here probably pretty soon. Never know. Maybe we'll do a stream on it. Um,
Maybe, I hope so.
I think it'd be pretty cool because there's a lot of different aspects to it. Don't get me going down that path. But I am really looking forward to trying out this game because it looks exciting, and if it does have the spirit of the story, I think it'll be awesome.
Spice will play a very important role in
The spice must flow.
crafting, yeah, in crafting and whatnot for that game. The developers have said Spice will definitely, as its book and movie counterpart, Spice will play a very important role in this game. So you know, um, definitely keep that in mind. If you're not into
There's
Spice,
Well, there's a ton of lore in the Dune universe
there
as well,
is.
and that's the
Yeah.
thing. If you're really interested in that, or just want to check it out, there is so much lore in the Dune universe and it's a lot of it's good stuff, and not all of it is centered around the spice either. So
No, no. I mean, you got the Sword Masters. So for those of you who know the book, I'm gonna get a little lore dump here. You got the Sword Masters of Genos, who Duncan Idaho was one of them. I think Gurney Halleck was too.
yeah,
I think. Okay, so they both were. I knew Duncan Idaho was, but I wasn't sure if Gurney Halleck was one. Because Gurney Halleck is another badass. But yeah, like
so
you have the
which gurney
Sword
do you like
Masters.
best?
Um, you mean the one from the book, the one from the show, or the one from the movie?
Well, how about we'll just stick with the shows and the movies.
Okay, so that I think the original came out what 84 or 88?
Yeah, I
Was it
think it's
84?
84. I think. Yeah, I
Okay,
think so.
that Gurney Halleck, I believe that was played by none other than Sir Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
I believe he played Gurney Halleck. That was, I mean, it's fucking Sir Patrick Stewart. He played it perfectly. Really good actor. But the character themselves is fantastic. Josh Brolin did a really great job, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah.
You see, you get to so for those of you who don't know the history, Gurney Halleck and the Harkonnen don't see eye to eye. As a matter of fact, he would kill probably all of them if he could. But you get to see a bit of that in the first movie when him and Paul are training. So I think Josh Brolin and both him and Sir Patrick Stewart did fantastic jobs. And the reason why I say that is because I can't remember who played Gurney Halleck in the shows. So they probably didn't do a great job then. No, I'm being mean. I'm being a little mean. No, it's just I don't remember them. They were,
I don't either. So I'm yeah.
the acting might have not been memorable. I don't know, because I did watch the sci-fi show, the sci-fi miniseries, back when I was a kid. Um, and to be fair, I do think Jason Momoa did a really good job as Duncan Idaho in the movie. I think he did a pretty solid job. I was When I found out that he was playing Duncan Idaho, I wasn't sure what to think.
I
Um,
think he did. I think he did a pretty solid job with it too. And
but yeah, I
it's
think he did a really good job. Considering what you and I, and I'm sure who all knows the story of Duncan Idaho. I wonder what it's going to look like in the coming movies, in the next like third movie, and if they do, I think all the way up to like book 6. So we'll see. Because spoilers, Duncan Idaho's story does not end there. Um, so yeah, so it's I'm excited for this Dune Awakening game because number one, it's Dune, it's really good. Number two, with regards to the survival genre, the crafting, survival crafting, and like PVE stuff, Funcom was Edward Atchison. Okay, I recognize the name. I'd have to see a face. Um, I'm not gonna say the Children of Dune version of Gurney Halleck was bad. I just don't remember it. I'd have to go back and watch the show. Um, but Funcom has done again. They have Age A Conan Exiles, and they did a fantastic job there. If they stick to what they know and they emphasize the lore of Dune, honestly, I think they have their winner on their hands this game. I really do. So keep an eye out for that. Go to Dune Awakening to their website if you guys want to sign up for the closed beta, which is happening now. You might get lucky. You might get an invite. Um, this is tons of stuff to talk about, but the next thing I actually do want to talk about, it's kind of
Did I derail you? Is that what happened?
a little bit,
It's
a little
knocked
bit.
you completely off the rails.
No, we had a couple things to talk about. Number one, small little, well, not small, but a bit of a blurbs for those of you who play League of Legends or enjoy the League, Riot games, League of Legends game, League of Legends and other Riot games entries. It seems League of Legends has been pulled into the SAG-AFTRA. Uh, uh, ah, they're not a lawsuit. It's strikes. There we go. That's sorry,
There you
words
go.
escape me. That's going on. Apparently, Formosa Interactive is being pulled into kind of the snafu that's been going on in the industry since I want to say June, probably a bit before then I know, but memory is going back to June. With the SAG-AFTRA and voice actors and kind of going on strike because of situations with AI and things like that. Their likenesses or their voices being used um, and replicated by AI, thus hurting their job prospects, which understandable. As per our episode yesterday, which is being edited because we did have some sound issues there. Um, but as we sat down and spoke with Twain yesterday, um, and in subsequent episodes of us just having a fun conversation about AI and its impact on multiple industries, AI is here to stay. It's still making waves. It's hopefully, when used right, a good tool to really enhance what we already have.
Right.
But with regards to League of Legends and that whole thing, apparently Formosa has stated that they fully reject the SAG-AFTRA's allegations and said it has not acted in any manner to undermine employee or union rights, nor relationship with the union. Strike of League of Legends, a game unrelated to union claims, is inappropriate. Whether or not that is true remains to be seen. Who knows?
Technology changes everything. It's been that way, forever. I mean, things are going to change. Should AI be used to replace people? No. Is it potentially going to make some changes that are going to feel like replacing people? Yeah, absolutely, it will.
Oh yeah,
Um, but
yeah.
if it's used as a tool to help you create, that's the thing. It shouldn't be used to take people's voices or their artwork or whatever and
Mhm.
that okay. And I don't know whether that's the deal that's going on there or not, but in part that's the claim, is that people are losing their jobs because they're being replaced by a machine, basically. So
Yeah, yeah. And then again, here's the thing: like, there's so many instances of this that we're hearing about. So obviously, we got to take that as a case by case basis, because we're not. First of all, when I said myself and Greg are privy to the contracts there, and all the legalities that go into that kind of stuff. It's number one. Number two, we don't we're not in the development chair watching what's going on, so we can only speculate. But again, what it boils down to is hopefully those using AI are using it for what, at least my opinion, what its intended purpose is, as a tool to enhance what's already there, meaning not replacing the creative, not replacing the voice actor or actress or the motion capture actor or actress, but just enhancing it, making it easy. I'm all for making the creative process easier, 100%, because anybody who's ever been in the creative seat knows exactly how freaking arduous and sometimes pain in the ass it can be.
So Unholy Pawn says Skynet became self-aware at 12:14 a.m. Eastern Day. August
Eastern
29th,
Daylight
1979. What? So this is all just like the Matrix. We're not really here.
Terminator. Yeah, we gotta fucking go back to 1980 something to save Sarah Connor. We gotta go find John Connor, man, because we're screwed.
Maybe the machines have already won.
Maybe the machines have already won. You're not wrong, man. Yeah. So for those who do play, the timeline has been altered. Well, hopefully we're on the right side of it on Holy Pond, because I really don't feel like fighting a bunch of robots. That doesn't sound like a good time. Just my 2 cents. But yeah, for those of you who follow Riot Games and play League of Legends, or enjoy any of that particular content, feel free to look more into the going-ons there, because it might be important to you. And if things are not on the up and up, it deserves to be seen. But
I'm kind of interested in seeing how that all plays out, for sure, because the implications, and some of these court cases that are out there right now revolving around this, and obviously the subsequent strikes, things like that. I mean, they're meant to change how the marketplace works, the behaviors of these companies, and usually those things, well, ideally those things are not only good for the people, the employees, the actors, the artists, but ideally in the end they'd be good for us, the consumers, as well.
Yeah. So not only that, but also one other thing, if for those of you who are words are League of Legends fans, Arcane Season 2 is coming out shortly.
I love Arcane.
I thought Netflix did a really good job. That's part of the reason why it kind of caught my eye, was not only the
all right,
AI
so
piece, but
what's your favorite character in Arcane? Anybody in the audience, if you are familiar with Arcane, let us know. What's your favorite character in Arcane?
Honestly, I had 2 favorite characters.
Wait, are you gonna lie to me if I don't say yes?
Say yes about what?
You said honestly. What if I said no, dishonestly?
No. I had 2 favorite characters. I had Victor. I actually liked his character. He was an interesting character. And I liked Heimeldinger. I can't remember the character's name,
Cool.
which is ironic because I used to play him when I played League of Legends. Heimeldinger, the dude, the old dude, I can't remember what they're freaking called. The Yordle. There we go. They're called Yordles. I'm pretty sure they're called Yordles. But yeah, Heimeldinger. He was an interesting character as well. I liked him. Him and Victor, 2 of my favorites.
Victor, yeah, Victor's cool, but I am vanilla on this, because Jinx is definitely my favorite character.
Jinx is your favorite character?
Oh, yes.
She... Too many problems. too many problems with that one. She had too much baggage, man. I got time for that shit.
I'm not looking at her as like potential romantic options or anything. Just, I mean,
no, just as a character, just too much baggage. She was like, yo, get over your shit, man. Like, You think you had like everybody had it worse. Everybody that lived with you had it just as bad. I get over yourself. Goddamn. Shit. So you had it so rough. Your reaction is, oh, I'm just gonna start shooting shit.
That's what she thought.
Get over
I'm okay
yourself.
with a little chaos, man. That's all good.
But no, I honestly I like Arcane. I like Arcane. I'm really excited for Arcane too. For those of you who have not watched it on Holy Pond, I don't know if Arcane is your kind of thing. Check it out though. Highly recommend it. Really good storytelling and character development. It also brings me into another thing that we won't dive too deeply into it, but I believe we've mentioned in a previous episode there is a League of Legends MMO on the horizon potentially.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still like obviously really early stages of development for the League of Legends MMO. I'm pretty sure it's still ongoing. I know they kind of ran into some hiccups, over the last, I want to say, year with some issues. Can't remember what they were off the top of my head. I think they've changed a couple creative directors a couple times, and they lost some people. But again, the industry has been taking some hits like that for a while now. So
Right.
yeah, it is what it is. You just gotta kind of roll with the punches. So keep an eye out for that too. And we obviously will be keeping our ear to the ground for that, and we'll be uh, making sure that you guys stay up to date as more information is released for the League of Legends MMO.
So we have an ad break coming up in like 30 seconds. So we should pause on the content and give the folks
Yeah,
out there who are not subscribed to the channel a chance to just you know hold on a couple
chill out.
minutes, watch the
Yeah.
wonderful ads, and stick with us so you can hear some more.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what ads these are going to be. I don't know. No idea.
Hopefully they're useful. Hopefully someone can find something they want to buy. Because I ain't gonna lie, I hate ads, but sometimes you see something, you're like, I'm gonna
I
try that
could
out.
really use that.
Yeah, I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. Like sometimes you see something, you're like, okay, maybe. Let's see.
Silco was cool. I definitely, that was the other one for me. Silco.
Silco, who was that? Was that the dude?
He's the one that took that
The
adopted.
Jinx,
Yeah,
that adopted Jinx.
yeah.
He was I don't know. He's kind of a scumbag.
Wow.
Kind of kind of scumbag. Um,
Misunderstood.
misunderstood. That's what we're calling it now. Okay. Okay. Misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought Vi and Caitlyn, whatever, they were cool. Echo was another cool character. I think. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch all those episodes
See,
now.
I didn't really like Vi. I really,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know. I
I
don't.
thought she was cool. Like she wasn't my favorite. I thought she was, it was alright. Jace was another character I really liked. I like Jace's character.
Yeah.
Um, Definitely fits with the lore of the game for anyone who plays.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Arcane 2 has to offer. And I'm also looking forward to see how many people actually tie music to videos from Arcane 2. Because I mean, there's huge amounts of music out there that's been tied to videos from
Oh
Arcane.
yeah,
And some people have done some really awesome work with it. I mean, they've, picked some good songs and been able to tie it to the video clips from the show, and it's pretty wild. Some really nice work.
I agree. Like some, these folks I hear who, are video editors and whatnot, they've tied in some really good shorts, and some of them have made like music videos and things like that, parodies and whatnot.
Right.
So, oh, we're back. Okay.
We are, well, 9 seconds. We'll be back.
9 seconds. Okay.
Yep.
I guess it
So
was early for me then.
so we can roll with it.
All right. So next piece. So as of, and this was as of 2025, sorry, 2025, September 25th, 2024, Ubisoft is delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows. Um, I believe they're delaying it to Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2025. Um,
So, how many Assassin's Creeds are there now?
I think like 7.
7.
I think so. That's like Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed 2, Liberty, Brotherhood, Black Flag, Origins, Valhalla. So it might be 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, Unholy Pawn. This is the Japanese one. This is the
Yeah.
one set in feudal Japan. Um, and it's the one showcasing the character of Yasuke, who is an actual person in history.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Maybe not as important as what they make him out to be, but
he definitely was not. And again, that's not to be disrespectful or anything, but he was definitely not as important as people, as the game is going to try to probably portray or people
well,
think. He
unique,
was a
unique. That he
unique for sure. I
definitely
mean,
was. Right.
for the time, absolutely. I mean, he was from what I from history. I believe he came from the continent of Africa. I can't remember which country. Obviously, as a slave, came on a Portuguese Jesuit ship when the Portuguese opened up trading routes to Japan, and I mean he was a retainer. That can mean many things, but he was a retainer of Oda Nobunaga,
Mm-hmm.
or Nobunaga Oda. Um, so, and again, that could mean he was samurai. It could mean something else. Again, they're depending on who you ask, and I'd suggest
Boucher.
asking an actual Japanese historian who what all that entails, because
Right.
to be called a samurai is a big deal back then, but a retainer doesn't. The two are not necessarily the same thing. So, um, Odyssey and Origins, yeah. Odyssey and Origins. I think Odyssey was the Egyptian one. Origins might have been the Roman one. Unholy Pawn. I'm not entirely sure.
I think that's right.
Honestly, I only played the first one. I ain't even gonna lie. I only played the first one. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of kickback for a couple of reasons, and we can touch on them. Because of the Yasuke character, again, he is an African American. Um, African? Did I just say African American?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, you did. He is not an African American, by the
He
way.
is not an African American.
That we know for
He's
certain.
yeah, he's African. He was an individual from the continent of Africa that historically ended up in Japan. Same thing, I'm assuming, is going to be the story of this particular character. If I mean, they might even be calling him Yasuke. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think they are.
Um, yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
So
think so.
it might just be a game adaptation of the real individual. Um, it's getting some pushback because two pieces. Number one, you have some folks who are annoyed because they're not portraying the character properly. Again, like Greg said, he might be getting more a show of importance more than what was historically accurate. But again, this is a game, so we can kind of suspend disbelief there for a bit.
Right.
But also, if you've ever played any of the Assassin's Creed games, they're not known for their historical accuracy.
What?
They're really not.
What?
No, the aliens were not involved in the history of Earth. We aren't all tied genealogy. We can't access our ancestors' history through this machine called the anima. You can't do that, Greg.
You mean that a person really can't fall 40 feet off the top of a building and then get up and fight 5 soldiers and kill them all?
No, No. As a matter of fact, if you fall 40 feet off of a building, even if you're falling into some hay, you're probably going to break a couple things. And yeah, and some did want a Japanese born protagonist, which I will say this: if you're making a Assassin's Creed game in Japan and you don't have a Japanese protagonist, they do have one. They have a female. She's a female ninja or kunoichi. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. But you can assume from what they've showcased, you can play as either Yasuke or this female ninja whose name I can't remember. Um, I mean, they have a Japanese-born, protagonist, but it might be, and again, just speculation here, it might be that she gets relegated to supporting cast, and the focus is on Yasuke. That's kind of some people's gripes with that. Other situation that this is on Ubisoft's end, like really specifically, they really didn't do their due diligence when they were crafting some of those like buildings and things like that. Like people, and again, not just fans, but also people who are well versed in Japanese history and architecture, pointed out that there were several buildings in the showcases that were not Japanese; they were Chinese. And to mix those two up, that's a big fumble. It's a really big fumble. So Ubisoft has got to go back to the drawing board and fix those fuck ups. It's a pretty big fuck up.
Japanese are very they're very competitive anyway, but I mean they're very competitive when it comes to China.
Yeah,
Very
and vice versa. If you know anything about the World War II and the Rape of Nanking, and that's all I'll say, just go look it up. You'll understand. um, yeah, the two countries do not get along swimmingly. So to confuse their architecture is probably, it's a big no-no. Don't do that. But and again, I mean, everyone's gonna have their gripes with any game out there. Here's the thing: if you like it, play it. It's your money. Spend how you want. And to Ubisoft, don't get lazy with your crafting. Like make sure you're actually getting the right architecture. Come on, guys, it's not that hard. But they're delaying that to February 2025. I'm not entirely.
Maybe they're going back to correct the architecture.
Well, they did say Mark Alex Cote, if I'm pronouncing that right, he's the executive producer, said this: the game needs more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. So maybe getting the right architecture is part of that polishing. They said, we understand this decision will come as disappointing news, but we sincerely believe this is in the best interest of the game and ultimately your experience as a player. So hopefully they're taking some of this feedback and making course correcting, and hence it's going to require a pushback to February.
Unholy Pawn says they probably used AI.
I hope not. But they might have. Yeah, they might have. And here's the thing: I don't care if they did, but clearly they did, and they didn't double check. And that's something you definitely have to do. AI is not foolproof. You got to double check, guys. So, they also did cancel kind of upcoming press events for Assassin's Creed, and apparently they will not be premiering any like showcases at the Tokyo Game Show due to various circumstances. I wonder if that's various circumstances on their end, or if Japan was like, "Nah, don't come here."
No idea.
I don't know. Yes, maybe something to look into. Who knows? But one other game that is coming out that I'm actually looking forward to is the successor to Ghosts of Tsushima, I believe this is the successor to that. Ghost of Yotei is looking to. Yes, it is. Okay, I wonder why. I wonder why. I mean, it is. It's created by Sucker Punch, of course. So yeah, Ghost of Yotei. It is going to be the successor to Ghost of Tsushima, but apparently they're looking at either doing a new franchise off of Ghost of Yotei and potentially getting into a more of a transmedia kind of franchise with this one. Maybe even with the Ghost of Tsushima, like the whole franchise, in that they might be looking at maybe providing things like what League of Legends did with Arcane, and the other similar video game to TV show or movie things that we've seen over the last say 10 years. Well, I mean, it's been longer than 10 years because one of the first video game to movie was Resident Evil way back early 2000s. So this is nothing new, but with the popularity of Ghost of Tsushima and that whole franchise, I know a lot of people are excited for this one.
So, speaking of AI, would you like to get a sneak peek at what our friend Twain generated for me last night?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead and showcase that, man.
So, this is potentially a new what avatar? Yeah, sure, avatar for Razzmatazz.
Avatar, yeah, Avatar, yeah.
It's a little more rabbity than I like, but pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
generated that last night on the video
yeah.
using Upheaval AI's software,
Mm-hmm.
and generated it in like what 10 minutes.
Somewhere, yeah, with a couple corrections
Yeah,
via just a spoken prompt, and we got that. Again, I agree. He's
yeah.
he's a little bit more rabbity than I envision Raz to be, but that's a pretty freaking
It
solid start.
is.
It's a
It
solid
is.
foundation.
I mean, I'm warming up to it. I am.
Yeah. And for those of you who, again, who are unaware, um, he is what you call it. We are editing that video, and will be out shortly.
Yes.
Uh, all right, I'll take care of that.
Yes, please do.
You are gone, my friend. Thank you. Uh, yeah, we don't need none of that here.
All right, I am going to take that down. There we go.
I felt a disturbance in the forest as if thousands of artists screamed out and were suddenly silenced. Well, here's the thing. And again, we'll be releasing that episode soonish. And for
Probably
those of
this
you who
weekend.
did
Yeah.
this
I gotta
weekend,
I gotta
okay.
clean up the sound a little bit on there because we did have some last minute changes before we went live. Created some sound
Some
issues.
sound
Um,
issues. Yeah,
if you're gonna get on a stream or do a stream, trust me, do not make last minute changes. Once it's set,
yeah,
you stick with what you
just
have.
yeah. But so for those of you who caught the episode, and for those of you who didn't, Twain, while an avid proponent of AI, again, he's got a history of AAA development in the gaming industry. He's a vet, he's a veteran in the gaming industry. Um, he knows what he's talking about. He's a developer. He's been programming for his words 30 years. So he's someone whose word I can take with a pretty decent amount of assurance. He is for AI. AI is here to stay. AI ain't going anywhere. Um, but like us, like Greg and myself, he believes in it being a tool to enhance what's already there, and to streamline, even make easier in some cases what's already there, not as a replacement for artists and creatives like that.
Well, you get right down to it. It potentially as a tool takes somebody like me who's a bad artist and makes us good, and it takes a good artist and makes them even better.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
you know, it's the people out there that are truly creating phenomenal work that will rise to the top. I mean, with or without AI, they're
oh,
going to rise to the top.
yeah.
Um,
And then like you just said, take a great artist and you give them the use of AI where they can take what's in here and put that on the screen that much faster. And because again, AI isn't perfect, they can take that piece that's really good, even great, that was created like that because they know how to verbalize that prompt, and that's key, like being able to verbalize or type out
right.
properly what you want to see and what you want the program to do, and then having that critical eye. So again, that the talent, the artistry and the talent is needed because you have to have the eye to be like, okay, well, this is where we need to fix, this is what the AI has messed up, this is where we can touch up and make better.
That's the
So
best
yeah.
part about what upheaval is developing is you're not
Mhm.
even going to have to use the, I mean, because that right now, that's all, any of the generators that are out there right now, you're going in and you type in a bunch of things, and
Yep.
you've got all that going on. One of the features of this system is that you can literally just sit there and tell it what you want, talk to it, tell it
Hmm.
what you want, and it will generate.
Yeah,
um
and not only does it generate art, it'll generate things like a
Backgrounds,
name, a background, yeah,
mechanics. Yep.
a personality, yeah. You get some personality in that background, so it's a full spectrum, tool that can really help folks who, again, like Greg was saying, like him and myself. I am not an artist either. um, Generate some good art that we can work with, or that we can
I
work
can
with an
draw a mean
artist.
stick figure.
That's right. That's right, man. Just fucking one line down the middle, arms, legs, head, and a smiley face. We're good to go.
Maybe even some
Shit.
fingers, but they look a little freaky. So
Yeah, yeah. Slap that right on the fucking refrigerator. A plus, baby.
Gold
um,
star.
but yeah, but it allows people a lot more freedom to be creative, but not at the expense of other creative individuals.
Right.
So definitely go check out Upheaval AI. Greg, do you have the website? If you want to drop it in the chat, um,
I will
so
do
people
that.
can go check him out. Definitely go check it out. Twain, I know they were working on a couple of improvements and features that Twain said him and some of the other developers that are helping him are working towards. And pretty sure he said this last night in the stream, but I think they're getting to a point where they might be sitting down with some studios to start feature
Right.
testing.
Right
So
now, it's still under development. They're in a funding round right now, so
mm,
they're looking ideally to find three um, more or less major backers where they
yeah,
can work with some of the existing studios, and start working out some of the kinks and tailor the product more to the marketplace. So
yeah, tailored to studios who could use it, and have a fully realized and feature complete program that is capable of being utilized in the industry by professionals who know what they need. So I'm excited. I'm hopefully we get to test it. I would love to get to test that. uh, Sit there and mess with it. But circling back to Ghost of Yotei,
yeah, I think that
I,
that what I showed there for a character, I'm betting ultimately they are also going to be producing a game that
yes,
goes along with this, and I'm quite sure that character I showed right there is now officially part of that game. So that'll be
probably.
awesome.
Yeah, that'd
Razzmatazz.
be yeah.
You can go play
Razzmatazz,
Razzmatazz.
yeah, in the world. Yeah, and yes, for those of you who are sitting there and thinking, "Man, this reminds me of Ready Player One," that is definitely an inspiration. We talked about that yesterday, last night on the stream. It's an inspiration for myself as well, because I mean that game, that book, that movie, any gamer or every gamer, I would imagine, probably has had that thought. What if I can step into the world, you know, legitimately? Obviously, not really step into the world, but put on a VR headset or even like a whole suit
Right.
and inhabit, World of Warcraft or Warhammer 40K. Okay, maybe not Warhammer 40K. Maybe not Warhammer 40K. I can get a little ugly.
Tron?
Tron.
You want to go? You
Yeah,
want
that
to
would be
step into
awesome.
Tron, like Lawnmower Man
Tron, yeah.
style? Tron.
Yeah, Tron, man, or step into like Call of Duty or something like that. So I mean, and this might be the first step in, upheaval games might be the first step towards that. And I for one am here for it, man. Um, but again, yeah, Ghost of Yotei, looking to expand on the franchise, both in the video game sense, but also to all other avenues of media. I mean, we've seen very recently with the success of shows like Fallout 4, the Fallout series on Amazon Prime and The Last of Us, um, were really well received by both fans and people new to either of those IPs. So you know, uh, taking your game and turning it into a show or even a movie, not been a
They,
bad call
they,
if done right.
right, right, and they did a really good. They did a really good job. That's
Mhm.
they did a really good job on Fallout. I mean, I'm curious to see what season 2 has been approved. By the way, that's going forward. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they did a really good job with season 1. People loved it. I've been a fan of Fallout since the original Fallout game came out, and back in
I have the
turn based
original
days.
now.
Oh yeah,
I have the original. Yeah, it got so they were doing a thing on the Epic Game Store where I think they were giving out all of them, like the
traitor.
first two. Look. We'll get into that in a second, actually. Yeah, but look, the Epic Game Store is going to give me free games. I'm going to take the fucking free games, okay? That's just how that's going to go. But they had Fallout, and then they had Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, I believe. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So eventually I'm gonna play them. I'm gonna sit down and play them.
There's like Fallout 2, Brotherhood of Steel. There's a or is Brotherhood of Steel the tactics one?
I think that's the
The
tactics one.
tactics one. Okay,
I
yeah.
think. And then you have like Fallout 3, New Vegas,
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4, and then 76.
And
Which,
talk
by the
of a
way,
Fallout 5.
and talk of Fallout 5, yeah, and talk of 76. Because due to the Fallout TV show being so well received and so well done, Fallout 76 saw a huge surge of players. And from what I saw, because I was thinking, I think I have the game
They
somewhere.
might do some
Like
DLCs.
they might do some DLCs, but the game, according to people that played it way back when it came out, and then now, it's gotten way better. So
I
you never thought
never
again into Fallout
I don't mind
76.
Fallout 76. I haven't played it in a while. But I mean the building aspects and all that stuff, if you really like that in Fallout 4, they're fantastic in 76. There is a storyline there. Maybe they clean that up some. I actually enjoyed a lot
They
of it.
did. They did.
Um,
Like I know one of the key things for my research on 76, this is months and months ago,
mhm,
was that one of the issues were that the lack of NPCs
right.
early on in the game. Now there are NPCs. Basically, they added a lot of features that weren't there, like the quest giver NPCs and all that stuff that you see in standalone, like
Fallout.
Fallout 3 and Fallout
Yep.
New Vegas. Yeah, like the Fallout games, they brought that to 76 and really polished that up. And then, like you said, yeah, the um, the crafting and building, I mean, was really well done. I know they polished up a lot of the combat too and made that better. So now might be the time to get into it.
Check it out.
Who knows? Yeah, yeah. Um, what else? Oh, you said a trader. Yes, I'm slight trader. I'm playing both sides. look, man, if they're gonna give me free games, I'm gonna take the free games. Okay. Plus, I also use Unreal 4. Well, not Unreal 4. It's Unreal 5, 5.4 now. I do use Unreal. So, um, what Greg is referring to is our next topic, and probably
That
the
you're a
the
traitor.
really maybe, possibly. There's no
Well,
evidence to
let's let's
suggest I
let's
am.
let's. Wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Let's go into why. Why now?
Ah, well, this is the reason. How do I put this? So the reason why we're bringing up the whole Epic Games thing, but the other aspect is Steam and Valve, the in particular. For those of you who don't know, Valve has been embroiled in lawsuits or an ongoing lawsuit, mostly in the UK and EU, for anti-consumer practices in the respect of competition. So the antitrust pieces, and for
Right.
those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, basically monopolization. We have that here in the U.S. That's a big deal. Can't happen. It's a big thing over there in the I would say probably arguably a bigger thing over there in the UK, considering how they're coming at uh, Valve. And it's about the basically the I guess the best way to put it is the prosecution's evidence for this is Valve. Some internal emails had come to light recently that Valve, um, while they don't have issue with you like developer having their game on another site, like a perfect example, and this is an oft used example, GOG or good old good old gaming, I believe it's called. I just always call it GOG, so I don't actually know the real name, but I think it's called good old gaming is another site. Green Man Gaming might be another one you're familiar with. Basically, another site that does um, digital retail of video games. So they're not opposed to you selling your games on those things, but if you're selling at a sale on, let's say, Steam, you cannot sell it for a lower price point on these other platforms. And the reason being, initially, before more recent information came out, initially it was because oftentimes when selling on things like GOG or Green Man Gaming, the game sale there would link back to a Steam key. You basically use Steam keys to sell your game on these other platforms. Which, here's the thing: if that's what you were doing, I completely understand why Valve would delist your game, because that's what they would do if it was found out that you were, because you're essentially you selling for a lesser price point on another platform to funnel them to Steam and use Steam's ecosystem and their systems for your game, where Steam was getting cut out, but you're still using their stuff. So I completely understand that.
That's a wildly horrible link that I just posted, by the way, but I do believe it will work.
Yeah, let's hope so. um, but some information came to light where Steam was sending some internal emails where basically says more or less to the effect of they don't want you selling your games at a lower price point on another platform, even if you're not using Steam keys, which therein lies the problem. And that's why more recently Valve was trying to have some of that information dismissed, but a judge was like, "No, we're keeping it." So it's kind of didn't really paint Valve in a very good light. Again, here, like I'm gonna be completely honest, from a business standpoint and from a not business standpoint, just from a standpoint of I get it. I know that's lame to say it that way. I just can't find better words for it. Um, I'd probably be doing the same thing as Valve if I was in their shoes. Like, don't go sell your stuff for less somewhere else, trying to cut me out, but you're using Steam keys. No, ain't gonna fly. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not gonna fly. Now the basically again, the prosecution's kind of, how do I put this, Greg? Help me here.
Well,
Their leg to stand on is that because of Steam's popularity and they own majority share in the digital retail game space, and they do by like a large margin. Like I think it's last time we looked at it, it was like 83% or something like that.
mhm.
It was a very high percentage that they own majority. They own the lion's share of the market in that space. That because basically their thing is if you don't sell on Steam, then you're just mathematically hurting yourself in terms of profits and in terms of visibility for your product. And to be fair, that's also true. If you don't sell on Steam, you're hurting yourself.
Well, they're right now. That I mean, yeah, you could say that's true. That's fair. Um,
It's a fair assessment, but also again, they don't have to sell on Steam. They can sell on these other platforms and still make a profit.
right,
They just
right.
wouldn't make as much.
Well, and there's a choice there. That's the thing. There's a choice there.
Exactly. Yeah.
You if you want access to Steam's community, then you accept these terms. I mean, it's common practice in business.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
The argument is that, well, we should be able to sell wherever we want for whatever price we want, yada yada. And I don't disagree with that. But if you sign on to sell on Steam and you agree to the terms,
To their terms. Yep.
then you need to hold to those terms. Otherwise, it's not Steam that's the bad guy. It's you. You're the one who broke the contract.
Yeah. Yep. And
So
and that's going to lead me to my next point, which for us as the user, for those of you who have Steam, you might have seen literally within the last couple days, maybe like a day or two, there was a new user agreement that came out, pretty much outlining, and this now we're transitioning to the end user agreement, meaning us as individual users of Steam, their platform, and the products that we buy. Now we've had it here on the show plenty of times. The aspect of ownership of a digital product. Now that is basically kind of what a lot of this argument is about. Um, it's like, okay, well, are we licensing? Are we paying for a license? Like whenever we buy a game through Steam, are we paying for a license to use Steam as a go-between to play the game, and thus we're paying for a license, or do we actually own the game and the game is now ours? It's just housed on Steam. That's been an ongoing debate, not just because of Steam, but in all spaces. Because as we all know, and we can, I mean, unless you've been living on the rock, a lot of things are going digital now. A lot of consumer goods have been going digital.
well,
Especially if it's in the
even
that.
tabletop has made
Yeah.
a huge
Yep.
move in the direction of
Yeah.
digital.
D and
I
D.
will
Yeah.
I will say that I think at this point there is somewhat of a resurgence back to the books because I mean,
Mhm.
it's I've been playing tabletop RPGs for a very very long time, and I have a ton of digital products. But if I'm wanting to like learn the lore or learn about a system or anything like that, I it's a much better feeling to just sit down with a book than to
Yeah.
sit
Read
and
the book.
stare at my computer
Absolutely.
screen or whatever. Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I you've seen the stack of D&D books I have too. Yeah. Like I much prefer opening the physical book. And again, that's person to person. Some people prefer the digital thing, but again, yeah, a lot of things that normally had physical um, merchandise are now going digital, and that is bringing up the question across multiple industries of ownership and ownership rights. And that same thing here with Steam. It's what what are we going to do? What do we do as end users, as consumers, when let's say Steam decides to not host a game that we paid for? Well, we paid for that. That game is ours, right? Is it really? You know, But here's something that I think, and myself and Greg were actually talking about this, and I want to get into a whole hoopla here, but I'm going to say it because it needs to be said. People are all up in arms about this whole, well, if buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't theft. So you've heard that argument a bunch of times, or if I'm just paying to license it, or all those arguments. You know why they're doing this? Because we let them. We showed these companies what we wanted as consumers. We wanted convenience. Now you don't have to go to GameStop and wait in line for a physical copy. Now you can just click of a button. Hell, you don't even have to be at your computer. They have an app. You can buy it from your fucking phone. Buy it from your phone. We, the consumer, are culpable as well. So for those of you who are sitting there, you're part of the problem. Because we wanted convenience, right? Well, they gave it to us. But hosting those servers and these platforms, that shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
It costs money.
I'm not gonna. Go ahead.
So let me finish. And what Greg said is 150% fucking true. You agreed to, like we all did. I did. We were actually talking about this again off screen. I was like, I didn't read that shit. I just clicked OK, because I like, it's not that deep for me. Not that deep for me.
Where's the end?
Yeah, it's like, I don't give a shit. Like, I accept your terms, just give me access to my shit. Okay, and some people might be like, oh well, you should have read it, and I do read them. Ever since becoming a business owner and stuff, I read these things so I get a better understanding. I don't read them every line by line, but I get I general understanding of EULAs and TOSs and contracts now. And here's the thing: what they're doing, what Valve is doing, isn't unusual. Every business does it. And us as the consumers, we are beholden to reading that and either accepting or not accepting. But here's the thing: if you accept, you're bound by that contract just as they are. So don't bitch, don't complain. If you wanted to change, then speak up with your wallet, man. But don't sit here and act like, well, this is what we wanted. This isn't, because we, collective, myself included, we are why we are where we are. Well, where we are, because we wanted the convenience of having access to a digital storefront. We showed them that's what we want. That's what they gave us. Hey. Now, to Valve, Gabe Newell is a businessman. Valve, they're out there to make their money, first and foremost, and I expect them to behave that way. I want them to behave that way, because if they don't make money, then there is no Steam. Period. Now, with that said, I also do want them to treat me fairly as a user and a consumer of their product and someone who gives them money. I do want them to treat with me in good faith. What that looks like, especially because of the whole digital thing, that's what we collectively have to discuss. As consumers, as businesses, we have to show them, like we showed them what we wanted. We got to show them what we want. Anyway, Greg, I'm sorry. I kind of got long-winded there.
You're good, man. The problem, centering around the platform, so Steam, isn't necessarily a consumer problem, because us as consumers, so you and I, our interaction with Steam is actually very good. The platform is an excellent platform. But where it becomes a problem is the relationship between the studios, the actual creators, and Valve or Steam. That's where the issue really, becomes prevalent. Oops. Give me a moment. Let me drag him back in here. He likes to do that. Run off. I can talk about him momentarily because there he is.
I heard that.
I didn't say anything bad.
Uh huh. Sure.
So
Um,
Chris Johnson asks the question: how do you feel about Valve kind of being a monopoly as far as games marketplaces go?
um, I'm gonna let you answer that first, Greg. Um, I already know what I'm gonna say. Um,
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
I mean, if
Well,
you want me to answer it, I'll answer. I'll answer it first. I don't mind that.
I, I'm fine with this. Is a really, it's a really
It's a
important
good
question,
question. Yeah.
right? And because it points out the obvious thing, which is that they dominate the marketplace, and we already established that. Um,
Absolutely.
Now, should they conduct themselves better when it comes to how they deal with not just the customers, not just you and I, but how they're
Mhm.
dealing with, you know, the people producing the product, the studios, the actual, creators that are out there. I think there's definitely an argument there that would be on the side of saying, hey, you know what, you guys do have the largest audience, and why leverage so hard against these smaller studios? Um, Now, I'm not. I don't know whether they're discriminating there or not. Is it everybody across the board? Is it only the smaller studios? Is it bigger studios? Is it who is it?
Hmm.
I don't know, but I do think that there should be maybe they should have put that into their business practices, how they conduct themselves with these smaller studios. I don't even know what their contracts look like, but obviously there's an issue that someone has been in breach of contract, and Valve or Steam's reaction to it was literally to yank their product, say, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then you can't be part of our service. um, who's wrong, who's right? I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I would
case by case basis, I think.
right. I would prefer that any company that I do business with would be would consider the situation involved and at least offer the opportunity for whatever the problem is to be corrected. I don't know if that happened
Yeah.
either, but what
Mhm.
I do know is that there was an issue and Steam yanked the product. And so
Yep.
that particular publisher has lost access to the Steam community, lost money. I know there's been lawsuits in the past where Valve has actually filed lawsuits in the past, and they've had lawsuits
Yep.
filed against them. Um,
Yep.
that just, to me, I look at that and I see the size of this business. I mean, it's multiple trillions of dollars, and feels kind of like a monopoly to me. So I would hate to lose the user experience element of Steam, because that they've done a fantastic job with that. But at the same point in time, I wouldn't have posted links to competitors in the chat if I felt that everything was on the up and up.
Yeah. Fair enough. And here's the thing. My answer to that question is almost similar to Greg's. In that, yeah, if you hold lion's share of that market, you know, you can. I'm not joking when I say this, but you can afford to treat in good faith with both consumers and the
I agree with you, Chris.
developers. Um, I don't actually see Chris's message,
Uh, well,
sadly.
it's they're speaking on YouTube, but
Oh,
they're
YouTube.
yeah,
Oh,
they
okay.
actually the last statement there that Chris made, is Steam is a great product, to be honest,
It
and
is. Steam is very much a great product.
there's no arguing that it really is a great product.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. I they're they own majority share partly because they are so good at what they do. Like let's not split hairs here. Comparing Steam to these other to their competitors, it's night and day. And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're bad. Like GOG and Green Man Gaming, I'm not saying they're bad. But Steam is just that much better. But
Right.
also, Steam was one of the first, if not the first, to do it. So they've been in the game for a very long time. They've just gotten better. Um, Now,
Some,
how again on the back end, how they're treating with the publisher, sorry, with the developers and and publishing companies of these games. So obviously they're treating with them differently than they are us, the consumer. And if that is an area that could use improvement, then definitely should be improved upon.
Mhm.
There shouldn't be an issue where Steam is yanking people's game because they're selling um, on another platform. Obviously, in keeping with the contract. Now, again, that goes that now we're looking at the contract. The contract we need being renegotiated, and have some um, better or more equal or even parameters put in. That again, you can say yes on that based on the information that we know. Yeah, they could probably do a little bit better there. Again, circling back to what I was saying at the beginning, should companies be selling their games on a competitor's platform less than they're selling it on Steam and utilizing Steam keys? No, absolutely not. That your game deserves to get yanked if you're pulling that bullshit. But to have it where Steam is kind of in a way not allowing you to sell your game on that platform, even if you're not using Steam keys, at a lower price point, no, no. Now you're being greedy. Now you're being a little greedy there. But in my opinion, all in all, Steam can afford to be a bit more generous on that side of the line with the publishers and developers of these games. Because here's the thing. Even if, and I'm speculating, but my opinion, even if Steam Valve comes back to the table and says, hey, look, we're going to loosen up some of these parameters within our contracts with you guys, people are still going to go to them over these other places. Like in the grand scheme of things, Steam, people are still going to go to Steam. It's convenient. People like I've had my Steam account for almost 15 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I know Green Man Game exists. I know GOG exists. I still come to Steam. I got the app downloaded on my computer. Like, I'm not gonna go to these other websites. Why? I got Steam. Now something in Steam's favor. Those other sites and those other platforms, they need to step their game up.
Mm-hmm.
Competition. You can compete with Steam. Like Steam is not stopping you from competing. Mostly, you can compete with Steam.
Mostly.
Well, I mean, basically what we just said, they kind of are a little bit, just a little bit. You can compete with Steam, but you gotta up your game. Green Man Gaming, up your game, man. Like, take what
Valve,
Steam is doing and replicate it, do it better.
Valve has done a fantastic job in innovation. That's really
Yeah,
the big piece to it, is because and they've been around the longest. So I mean, hey, they've had a lot of opportunity to learn, and
yeah,
they continually innovate, change their platform to really try to focus on the customers.
yeah. They
Um,
built community, like they have that community centric
right,
approach to things,
right.
which is what we all want, and it
Yeah.
shows.
My sincere hope is that some of these other platforms that are out there start to pick up on that and
Yeah,
start to really focus their attention. Okay, this isn't just about offering a bunch of games. This is about building a community and creating a user experience, because that's what Steam has done.
and they
And
do it very, very well.
right, so they want to compete. That's what they're going to have to do. They're going to have to develop that. They're going to have to draw us in and give us a reason to go to their site. And that's
Mhm.
what Steam has done a fantastic. Valve has done a fantastic job with Steam in building exactly that. It is an experience in and of itself. All the bad things, I guess you could say, that go on. Unfortunately, it's not enough to drive the consumers away right now. And the reason why is because there's nothing out there to compete with them.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, I'm not going to go to one of these other game sites just because I want to get a game. I want that
Steam
user
probably has
experience. Yeah, exactly.
Steam probably has it. It's again, it's convenient for me. They've made it super easy.
I sincerely hope that they do, whether it's good old games or whoever. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, I
really,
hope competition comes out.
Right, give me an option. I mean, a real option, and I'll willingly check it out. But to just have a platform where I can go to your way, and that's the links are in the chat on the Twitch channel. I'll put them over in the YouTube channel as well. But you go to these sites and take a look at them. And I'm not saying they're bad. They're not. They're exactly what they say they are. I mean, it's a games website where you can go and you can buy games, and sometimes even cheaper. So I mean, you've got that going for you. But that's the thing with games is we don't typically, our reasoning behind buying a new game is not because it's cheap. You know what I mean? That's not usually not the biggest factor.
Yeah. I mean, it's a nice perk, when you get the game that you want on sale, but it's because you either want to play with someone, you want to experience the game with other people who have experienced the game, i.e. community. If it's a single player game, you want to play the game so you can talk about it with other people who've played it, or if it's a multiplayer game of any kind, whether it's co-op or an MMO, you want to experience the game with other people.
Right.
Community. But Steam has done something that these other sites haven't yet done, where they've built that community in even before you even purchase the game. They've built the community into the buying process, and they've done it, and they keep iterating on that, and they keep doing it well. Again, I really do hope that their competition does sprout up. One of the other pieces from the latest news on the Valve and slash Steam legal situation is that basically with on the end user portion, one of the clauses in our user agreement was that we cannot enter into class action lawsuits against Steam. There were provisions against that it would be handled by arbitration, which, to be fair, in Steam's defense, they have stated if this were to happen, if a user were to come to us, with a dispute, and it would look like it would go to court, we would be, as long as the whole amount of costs and whatnot were 10,000 and under, they would cover it, win or lose. So whether they won or lost, they would cover your fees and everything else. That's been removed in the new user agreement. And class action lawsuits are on the table. However, Steam kind of did a, oh, okay, I see you, because you had, and this is the piece that I hope people really pay attention to. Individuals who are engaging in these class action lawsuits with these law firms, and whether it be individually or again with the class action lawsuit, typically you have a bunch of people, because they already, like, I think there's a couple of law firms out there that have one took on like 75,000 cases already, another one's took on a couple thousand.
They're heroes.
So for those listening, no, they're fucking not heroes. Okay, and this is where I'm gonna rant a little bit. They're not fucking heroes. For those listening, and if you have, if you're really paying attention, guys, please don't get suckered. Those law firms don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. The reason why they're taking on your class action lawsuit against a company the size of Steam, because they get tons of money out of it. That's it. You're money bags to them. They don't care about your plight. And the reason why is because enough people have been complaining or seemingly complaining about whatever the fuck. So they're like, oh, let's latch onto that and get this class action lawsuit rolling against this hugely successful and company with very, very deep pockets that we can go digging in and get our firm and us, because the lawyers get paid quite a nice bonus, I would imagine, from that. Even if they fucking lose, I would imagine they probably walk away with a nice chunk of change.
It depends
It
on
probably
that,
depends.
right?
Yeah, it probably depends. But don't be a sucker. These lawyers and law firms don't give a fuck about you.
That's
They
one of
want
the
the money.
right. One of the things there, like these class action style suits, a lot. And I'm not a lawyer, but I mean, a lot of times I know they essentially only get paid if they win.
Yeah.
So, and
In those
that's
cases, yes.
it's also very hard to get. That's why it's hard to get a lawyer to sign on to that. If they sign on to it, that they got a pretty. They feel like they got a pretty good chance of winning.
Yeah.
So,
and here's the thing. I think a lot of those law firms, I know some of them are here in the States, but I would wager a bet that the majority of them are probably over in the UK and the EU, because they have a higher chance of winning over there.
there's a reason why
Much
lawyers and used car salesmen are in the same category.
Yeah, because they're trash. I said what I said. And here's the thing. I know lawyers. I know plenty of lawyers, and they've told me, they're like, be wary, because
They don't love
a
you.
lawyer's job, not only that, but a lawyer's job is to do what? Win.
Right.
Their job is to win. They're like a business. Their job is to make that money.
What they get paid to do.
Don't be a fucking sucker and think, oh, they're champion. And no, they're not champion for us. They're champion for the money. Don't be a sucker, guys. Okay. Like, I saw a lot of people in the comment section on some of the things that I was looking at. Like, man, don't be a sucker for somebody else, please. Come on.
Oh, come on now.
Like, come on, guys.
No, I'm not.
Chris Johnson. This is your first time here, Green Man Gaming, a Steam competitor. Yes and no. And the reason why I say yes and no, Chris, is because it is a competitor, but again, as we've discussed, Steam does own the lion's share of the digital game distribution market. I highly recommend you check them out. I highly recommend you check out GOG as well.
Epic Game Store.
Epic Game Store. Yeah, I mean, they, as I was saying earlier, they give out free games all the time.
That's how we started our conversation, is because he was telling me about how he's a trader. I mean,
yeah, I'm a trader apparently. I do use the Epic Game Store primarily for the Unreal game engine. Unreal, I think they're up to 5.4. I haven't updated my engine in a while, but we're up to 5.4. But yeah, they have their own digital market, trying to really break into the space. They're basically, if anyone would say, I would say is Steam's competitor, to be the Epic Game Store. GOG and Green Man Gaming are also competitors, but Steam does own majority share. But check them out. Check out. Explore your options. Don't always just go to Steam.
Right. If you find, because they do have, both of those platforms have a very expansive list of games. If you find something, that you like, that you want to try over there, give them a shot. I mean, it can't hurt anything. You're still going to have a game at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So.
100%. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of, that's it for us. Oh wait, we have some ads going. Hold on.
We do.
So I want to close out the stream.
Twitch and their wonderful ads. Gotta love them.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Maybe tomorrow night I actually am going to be on Bandwidth.
That's right.
Yeah, well, it's not Bandwidth and Banner. That's they've got a little different thing on Stormy's channel. Because they do the Bandwidth and Banner as their talk show, and then they have.
Hold on, Greg. The ads are still going, man. We don't want people to miss this.
Oh shoot!
Now we're back. Yeah,
All
wonder why
right.
people miss. You guys are gonna be able to see Greg again tomorrow.
Yeah, fantastic. So yeah, tomorrow I'm actually going to be on a another Twitch channel, Stormy D, um, and basically they have a program they're doing right now where they're really talking to DMs, long term or legacy DMs that are out there. I guess I qualify, something about 30 plus years of doing
They're
that.
calling you old.
I wasn't going there, but I guess
No,
since
I
you
said they're calling you old, not
they
me. They're
they
calling
they are okay. I will let them know that they are calling me old. Damn it,
you.
that's upsetting. No, I am old, man. I'm good with
Ah,
it. But yeah, I'm gonna be over there talking about games, talking about running games, talking about creating story and how to engage your players. So that'll be awesome. Looking forward to doing that. We
what time?
have it'll be you know what? You're asking me tough questions. Why are you doing that? Um, so yeah, 5:30 Central Time.
5:30. 5:30
Yep,
Central Time.
yep.
Okay, so that'll be 6 o'clock EST. Okay, cool. So I
It'll be
will
6:30 your time. Yeah.
6:30 my time. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna tune in.
So awesome,
Um,
awesome. Yeah, definitely. If you can, go check it out. They do not stream live on YouTube, only Twitch. But then they put the videos up after on YouTube on their YouTube channel. And I actually did do an interview with them on their bandwidth and banter program at
yeah.
I think it was at the end. Is it either the end of last year or the beginning of this year? So it's been like
I think
it's
it
been a
was the
while.
beginning of this year. I think it was
Okay.
the be- I think it was the beginning of this year.
Yeah. So looking forward to it. It's some cool folks over there and really really good people, and they do a really good job with their streams, and they play a lot of games on their streams. They not only do they play regular video games, but they also do a lot of TTRPG stuff. So it's
Hmm. Yeah.
fun stuff. Um,
Stormy D is definitely a great guy. Good channel. Definitely check him out.
coming
Um,
very soon to YouTube. We do have a video series that we're going to be releasing, based in Symborum, which is a Free League Games game, kind of the
yep.
D&D of Europe, basically. You want to talk a little bit about that, Rob?
Yeah, I will actually be DMing that game. We're kind of in the final stages of preparation for that one. And yeah, think a darker, grittier D&D base game. Kind of like The Witcher met D&D kind of style. It's really fun. It was created and put out by Free League Publishing, Free League Games. Um, they are a fantastic studio that we have worked with in the past. We've had a number of their creatives on, two of their co-founders actually, Tomas Herenston and Matthias Johansson.
Yes.
Matthias, if you hear this, I mispronounced your name. I apologize. Great guys, great creatives. We've had Luke Stratton on as well, another individual who's works for Free League and has published Pirate Borg, and I believe his new Kickstarter. Let me
Yes.
look up the name of that because I don't want to get that wrong. Because I've got it wrong before and I can't want to kick myself.
Released on the 17th of last month, so it's done
Yeah,
very.
it's still going.
Yeah, how well is it done so
It
far?
is. So 15 days left. It is 10,000% funded, I think. It was what it's sitting at
Nice,
$528,512.
very
Their
nice.
pledge goal was $5,000. They've got 15 days to go. Down Among the Dead is the new Kickstarter. It's an expansion piece. At least that's what I'm calling it. I don't know if that's what Luke calls it. It's from what I'm looking
I
at. It looks like it's an expansion
I
piece for Pirate Borg for the base game.
I am honored to be a harbor master for that game. So
Oh, nice. You backed it. Okay. Harbor Master.
mhm.
Let me look up. Let's see where you see
Well,
how high you
I'm
got.
actually a harbor master on his Discord channel as well.
Oh, nice, nice. I didn't know you had a Discord. Core Horicon.
Yes, for Lamethron.
Well,
So we
Captain, Legendary Captain, New Captain, Admiral, Kraken. Okay, I went past Harbor Master.
I don't know what I don't know what my level was for that, but yeah, it's in there somewhere.
Either way, you backed it. Good man. Highly recommend Pirate Borg, the base game, and I'm highly going to recommend Down Among the Dead because it looks fucking fantastic. We've had him on as well, and who knows, we might have him back on to talk about Down Among the Dead. Keep an ear out for that. And yeah, so back to Symbaroum, I'm going to be DMing that over. It's going to be a series episode count to be announced, but keep an eye out for that. As a matter of fact, if you want to keep up to date with us and all the things that are going on here at the Razzmatazz channel, go ahead and follow us on our Twitter, YouTube, and join us on our Discord. There, where you can get access to us directly and to all the people we've just mentioned, because they're all in there as well.
I think
I think that's it.
I think next week, I haven't added it on the schedule yet, but I think next week we're probably going to do that. We're probably going to do that book review of Wheel of Time Book 6.
That's right. Wheel of Time Book 6.
So
Good thing I've been reading.
yes. Yeah, good thing.
Good thing I've been reading. Yeah, good thing I've been reading.
But
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, we have been doing a book review of the Wheel of Time series, slowly, of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. We already have the first 5 reviews up. Book 6 will be coming next week.
yes,
So
it's not my fault it's so slow. Rob's a slow reader. I don't know what to tell you.
Says the guy who says it takes him like a month to read a book. All right, like don't even come here with that. Okay, I had to catch up. Okay, I had to catch up.
I got definitely a big head start on you. So all right,
but yeah, guys, that is episode 69 of the update log. Again, follow us on Discord and our various socials. Follow us here on Twitch if you want to keep up to date on what we're doing. Definitely more to come, especially as we get near GaryCon. More on that later.
Yes, we are probably going to have a special guest from the GaryCon team very soon as well. So, and one more thing I want to throw out there. We're actually, one of our cast members and I are going to be doing a special appearance in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So if you get a chance, there's a little gaming store over there in Green Bay they have welcomed us with open arms to come and spend a day and run some games for folks. So if you're in the Green Bay area, please do check out the Ashen Jug. With that, yes. I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's episode 69, guys. I'm Rob, this is Greg, and this is the update log. You guys have a good one.
Thank you very much for being here, everybody, and welcome in, Chris. We love having you.